Good afternoon, friends. So thank you for this resounding welcome, and thank you, Mr. Bansal. Mr. Mani, nice to connect with you and all the professors and teachers. It's always a pleasure. It reminds me of all my good days when I was a student myself. And I must say, when I hear this such wonderful welcome, I always feel my wife should be here because she never thinks so highly of me. But when I hear this, it's just fantastic. So I don't know, I just thought I'll say hello, and I was more keen to know how Institute is doing, and I'm very happy to know the way Mr. Bansal explained the way it's moving ahead. But since I have about 5 or 7 minutes, I just thought I'll talk from top of my mind. But is there anything, and I was told that Mr. Mani is going to talk on entrepreneurship. So I'll just probably spend a couple of minutes on what I feel that if you guys are at the juncture where you will decide what you want to do next in life, I'll share my thoughts. You can take it with a pinch of salt. If it is of some value and time permits, if I finish in 3-4 minutes, then I'll take 1 or 2 questions if possible. Is that fine? Yeah, so absolutely. So see, when I was the HR director at a company called Hughes Software. Hughes became Aricent. I was 28 years. I thought, I don't know what to do in life. So I met this maverick guy who said, if you have to do something meaningful in life, either you become a politician, or you become a spiritual leader, or you become an entrepreneur. So I decided that politician I can't become. Spiritual person, I was far away from becoming a spiritual guru. So I thought, okay, entrepreneur I can become. And incidentally, I had done my graduation in entrepreneurship. So I took that route and I said, okay, I was at peak my career. I was 29 years, HR director. Hughes was a great band at that time. And, I just somehow convinced my family that, I'm going to take a plunge in entrepreneurship. And let me tell you that in the last 7 years, I have enjoyed every bit of it. So PeopleStrong is today probably the fastest and the largest HR company. We are 500 people. In HR space, the largest company which is bigger than us is probably Naukri.com, which is .com. But we are bigger than Hewitt, EY, PwC in HR space. So none of them really liked it because in 7 years a startup came and became bigger than them, right? So it created a lot of problems. So we created a model for ourselves which I want to share, probably relevant for you, right? So which is a risk model. So you can become an employee. Risk is low, freedom is also low, right? You become a manager, then risk increases a little bit, freedom also increases a little bit, correct? Then you become a lifestyle entrepreneur. So we saw a lot of people who leave the company, take the bag out and give their services. So they're lifestyle guys. They're not big entrepreneurs, but they are doing lifestyle service. Risk increases, but freedom also increases. Then comes a category which is most of the entrepreneurs in India are trader entrepreneurs. They learn to employ 10, 20, 30 people. They still call their company Pankaj and Associate, Sharma and Associate. They would like to build that company for somebody in family, right? So that's the second category, what we call traders. Risk increases a little bit, but freedom also increases. But the most exciting category which US taught the whole world, probably what we looked at, is the scale category. The category where people dilute their company, raise funding. So they get I for investor, they get C for clients, and they get E for employees. ICE, as I call it. So they learn to manage this ICE together. Are you with me? So all I learned probably in my last 8 years after leaving Hughes was, can I get this ICE together? And that has changed my life. And second part, that after hiring a lot of good people and not so good people, that I have learned is that I ended up hiring people who were low on ownership and low on employeship. Right? They don't take ownership of anything and they're not good employees. What do you do with them? Do you let go them? Right? Nobody bothers about them. But there's another category where 80% of the world is, where you are high on employeship and low on ownership. They are very contract driven. When you get a first offer letter of your life, you look at it, kitna salary mil raha hai? What is my job description? Kitni dur jana hai? Company ka naam kitna acha hai? Blah, blah, blah. Right? So you take a job based on that. The day you get a better offer, you shift. So that's how 80% of the corporate is. Good employees, but low on ownership. Then there is third category, which I love. I call them transformers. These are the guys, good employees and great on ownership. So I have quite a few of my colleagues who joined as assistant manager or something. Today they're a part of the executive team. These guys operate literally like a volunteer. When you're in college, operate like you're a volunteer here. When you're in office, when you join a corporate, think as if you're a volunteer, salary is incidental. These guys grow best. They get best of the roles, they're never tired. Right? And last category is what I call the Steve Jobs category. Great on ownership, bad employees. Very tough to manage them. right? They don't want to submit their bills, they don't want to submit timesheets, but they are great. They are thinkers, they're cutting edge. Those people don't survive at the front layer, they survive at mid or senior level. So these were the 4 categories I learned. Whenever now I get people, we evaluate them on these 4 categories, try and see where they're fitting in. My recommendation to you all would be try and be in that box, which is the transformer box. When you join in, think as if you're the owner of the company, or if possible, try and think like Steve Jobs. If you can't be an owner, at least great strategic thinker who can tell what things is coming next. So I think these 2 broad things, one is the risk profile that I shared with you. So take risk. Second is this point, this is what I wanted to share. And if I sum up these 2 points, I'll say you all have seen 3 Idiots. Anyone who's not seen? Everybody's seen. How many of you are living like a 3 Idiot? Raise your hands. 1, 2. So imagine all the royalty went to Amir Khan, right? So if you're following your heart, everything will change. That's what many of us did at our office. So I would advise you to follow your heart, operate like a volunteer, and take a bit of risk in life. There is no problem. So if your parents tell you, if your friends tell you don't take risk, it's absolutely incorrect. Take risk when you leave NDIM, take risk, corporates would love it. It's absolutely fine. And at the right time, if you want to chart out a new career, please do so. And don't shy away with these things. So thank you very much. I hope I have covered in less than 5 minutes. If you have any one burning question, I can take it on. Otherwise, I'll request it to give it to Mr. Maini. If you have anything, fine. Otherwise, we'll move ahead. Anything?